Well, hey friends, this reading is about Earth and us. And I'll be acting as your tarot reader and your novice druid today. And we'll just see what the Earth can tell us through me and these cards. I've got 3 beautiful decks and some powerful questions, and let's see what happens. The first question I'm going to ask is just for an overall sense of what is happening with Earth, according to the Tarot of the She. Okay, I'm going to get right into this. My favorite part of Druidry is not the part where you put people into a wicker statue and burn them alive for human sacrifice. Just in case you were worried. Okay, our overall sense of what is happening with Earth is Dancer 3, Soul Loss. That makes my heart ache. Soul Loss. This is a 3 of Swords. It is a card of betrayal. It is a card of struggling with conflict between heart and mind. It's a painful card. We can see that these 3 birds have torn apart the heart here. This is birds representing air, the swords, the mind. They have fought over and torn apart this heart. And I was hoping it wouldn't be such a painful card, but it is. Dreamer 3. And I can see this fairy, the She, S-I-D-H-E, is appealing to us. The Earth is appealing to us. I see the sacred mountains. I see the full moon, Capricorn, in Capricorn, an Earth sign. I see these trees without leaves, weeping, willows without leaves here. This is a very painful image. Okay, let's find out what we can do. The underlying image is, death, transformation. Always possible to change. And there is another very, very difficult card. Hope discarded. Dreamer 5, a 5 of Swords. Self-harm. Winning in a way that we regret. Dominance. Jeez Louise, I just feel like weeping. You can see that this she is stabbed in the back here. Another austere image. Same suit as our Dreamer 3. We have Dreamer 5. A red sun. If you've ever lived through a forest fire, you know the sun is red. Damn it. Let's see, there are questions here that can give us some positive information, but this is a tough reading already. Strength is upside down here, coming in. Perhaps we can find our hearts and move away from our beastly nature, or maybe we should move towards our beastly nature, being in recognition that we are wild and powerful, and that we have to be a part of the wildness. Okay, let's ask some questions here. So this is a basic reading that I often do, but I have revised it slightly with some more specific questions. So the questions are release, embrace, what's hidden. And but the release question I ask is because I just was, my yoga teacher shared a lament with us. I wish it could have been another way on the Emerald podcast. I found it, I couldn't listen to it. I'm not ready to quit, to give up, and to just grieve. So I'm not ready for a cathartic crying session here, even though this is very painful. But I do understand that things change. Death card being here tells us there's change. And there's a need for us to change in relation to our planet. That's here with the upside down strength card. So, first card is, what shall we lament and let go of? What must I grieve and release? We get an Ace of Swords, truth. So if I must lament, if I must grieve something, it is the truth. We see this mountain lion and the owl. They're very powerful images for me because at the beginning of COVID, I saw this owl very close sitting on a branch just 15 feet from me, exhausted from the forest fires out west, I believe. And secondly, the mountain lion is one of the guides that takes me to, in my druidic practice, on these journeys into this other world. And she's always looking at me like this, like, I need to show you something, come in here. And I see the moon, and I know we're having a full moon. So that is on the 13th of this month, which is July 2022. So this is something that must be grieved, lamented over, let go of. We will find out more what this truth is as we clarify. All right. So the earth is resilient, and what can we know about the earth's resilience? Wow, fantastic. It is a 10 of Cups. It is overflowing. Yep. You see hummingbirds, or kingfishers here, actually is what they are. In this, beneath this waterfall, rainbow, in this waterfall, it is an emotional beauty, overflowing, resilience. Beautiful. Okay. What does the tarot want us to know? What is hidden from us? The tarot wants us to know. The Daughter of Roots. Daughter of Roots is a Page of Pentacles. She has a real offer of a new beginning, a new day, deep roots, beauty, in this sort of very kind of symmetry and order. We also see a woodpecker, a little bear, and this 4. 4 is a very stable number. Passion flower vines are what are growing between these. Are they aspen, birch? It would be the tree. The birch represents that moon energy, that purification. So this is something that to me is very reassuring that there is this real 3D possibility being that we cannot see yet. All right. And what can you do? What is our role in this? To be the daughter of feathers, the page of wands. This is what we do. We'll find out more. The daughter of feathers here is represented by symbols from this region, I assume, where I live in Arizona. I'm from the desert, from perhaps Hopi people, Pueblo Indians, indigenous people, bringing a perspective that is re-emerging right now. Traditional knowledges of Earth, of how to be in relation with Earth. This is a fantastic, seemingly imaginary bird here. I feel inspired to look this card up, actually. Daughter of Feathers. Anyone that watches my readings knows that this is the my little queer card. So I just want to see what it is in this deck. It's the card of the Foreigner. Here it is. This card is a messenger. This can be literal, as someone who will bring you a message. So this is our role. This is what we can do. Be this messenger. The Daughter of Feathers also conveys new creative energy, the message of inspiration or an idea, or simply enthusiasm for doing something fresh. This excitement only grows as the new thing takes shape. A further fortune-telling meaning, derived from the Page of Wands, would describe this card as a faithful lover. This too bears a quality of a messenger, someone who declares his or her love and can be trusted to be sincere. Damn, this is a really powerful reading. The card can refer to someone in the querent's life or the querent her himself. This is us. This is what our role is to be the lover, the faithful lover of Earth. If you've secretly been in love with someone, the daughter of Feathers tells you to let the person know. So let the Earth know. The barn swallow flies with a kernel of corn. So this is a barn swallow. The kernel represents a small but basic piece of nourishment, a beginning, and a promise of something greater. Behind her we see a full Hopi seed pot. So I was right about the Hopi. And a paho, a Hopi prayer stick, atop a pile of cornmeal. The scene refers to a vital moment in the story of creation when humans emerged from the third world into the fourth, that is, the world we live in. They were hungry and did not know how to feed themselves. To help them, a barn swallow flew through the layers of the underworld to bring them corn. The seed pot and the cornmeal show that the people are now quite capable of feeding themselves, and yet the original message of the single kernel continues to inspire them. Okay, I'm sorry to cry. I'm just weeping over here. This is just such a beautiful reading because it started out so painful with what is happening with Earth, this austere and painful betrayal of the Three of Swords and death. So it's pretty scary to see death here. But of course, you know, I never read death as death. I always read it as transformation. It's Scorpio's card. I'm a Scorpio. It doesn't mean that, like, I don't discover when the death card is scary sometimes. And that's probably the first time. And then we have the card of self-harm, of regret at our actions and how they ultimately end up harming And so that was a very tough, what is happening with Earth? And then I'm really curious, as we clarify, and we will, about this, what we must grieve is this truth. Perhaps this is a part of what we must do, is face and grieve and lament the facts here. Because I think perhaps we've been a little bit in denial. But we also are given the message that the earth is resilient, that the earth is overflowing, in fact, with this power. I sense this as a part of my study of Druidry when I listen and I go to make good relations with all the other people on this planet who are not human. We are told that there is a real 3D earthy beginning. It looks like a relationship here across species. In the strangely artificial structure of this tree, there's like this connection in this image between what is artificial and what is natural. We can see that wild vine growing in that strangely symmetrical web. I just feel like this is about the tapestry of life and that we all have a part to play in it. And then this beautiful, this may be my favorite card right now, the Daughter of Feathers. Always the Page of Wands is my favorite card, one of them. But this story of how we were fed and how we can remember to feed ourselves, but also to have the lover's heart, to express our love and to be inspired from it. Okay, underlying energy, just one card. No doubt, it is the Hierophant. This is structural power. This is all of the religions. This is culture, so-called civilization. That is no doubt here. It needs a revision. We'll see. Okay. This Earth and Us reading, like, I do it rarely, because I feel like it's a long time to do anything. But as a part of studying Druidry, which is really a spirituality that is about relationship with Earth, particularly centered through relations with trees and herbs, herbal magic. It's from Celtic and Gaul peoples, ancient peoples before Romans. And if you know anything about them, they tended to be remembered like all non-Christian peoples, pagans, as practitioners of human sacrifice and sorcerers who can converse with demons, and that's just propaganda. But I've asked in that work to have a more refined ability to do these kinds of readings. So let's see. Let's see what the cards tell us. We are supposed to lament the truth. So there is a lot wrong. Perhaps this is what we must grieve. Grieve what is. Okay. I feel a little bit like a mess. All right. We're clarifying with the Guardian of the Night. We have a Three of Cups. These are our friendships. This is a reconciliation card. It is a fun party. It is a celebration. What's coming in for me is just like these. This is like my childhood. It was like there was always going to be plenty of earth. I was poor as a kid. There wasn't plenty in my home, although my mom did an amazing job of always making sure we had food on the table. I worried about having enough. I worried about and felt myself in poverty. On the scale of poverty, blessed. But this is coming in as the feeling I had that Earth was overflowing, this idea. And so there was this greediness that we had about Earth. about taking from Earth, because she was just never going to suffer. We just did not feel, or we're not conscious, we're culturally not raised to sense this, soul loss that the Earth might have been experiencing through our treatment of the planet, as if it was so massive and infinite. So let's see. Six of Swords. This is another truth card. So we're looking at this release of the Ace of Swords, truth. So this is changing one truth for another. Movement in your mind from one paradigm to another. It's exactly what can happen here. So we're moving away from this greed, this party, this excess that these adorable little raccoons are engaged in. And we see the Wheel of Fortune here. We see change. We see the owls that represent the truth flying out from this wheel. Layers and layers, a snake in the middle, spiders. The Wheel of Fortune tends to turn in our favor. This is definitely, we are in a changed world. That is part of what we must lament. We have effectively changed the world, and we have to relinquish our dearly held fantasy that we couldn't harm it. And we have to embrace this change. The change is coming in. It strangely seems to be in our favor. I see that on the table. I see us responding to the suffering of our planet by changing. It's either that or goodbye. Here is the Earth's resilience. It is overflowing. I asked, what is Earth's power unknown and unseen by us? This was the question of this card about the Earth's resilience here in this spread. So let's find out more. All right. 8 of Cups. This is discontent. This is a missing cup. This is a spiritual journey. This isn't working. I need to go somewhere else. And there's this wonderful lion who's making me think of my guide, the lioness, the mountain lion, now a tiger. They call this one a lion. I'm sure that is okay with the tiger. The tiger is considering looking for that 9th cup, which is what is missing. 8 of Swords. That is a feeling of being trapped, that there's nothing I can do. There's that owl that I saw, right? This owl here. The truth, a new truth. Oh, it's the King of Swords. Pardon me. King of Swords. Such a wisdom in the King of Swords. The King of Swords is an intellectual, and the King of Swords has learned to unify heart and sword. You can see this symbolized by all these red poppies here. We're in a grove of aspen trees, which are one organism. We see the owl that has adapted to night flight, seen as wise. So the 8 of Cups says to me, like, the Earth has an ability to adapt. This isn't working, and so I go and I change in order to make it work. 8 of Cups. An ability to fly at night, to create creatures and beings that can handle all of the elements. And we're learning more and more through the study of plasticity, of the genomes of various animals, that the ability for Earth's beings to adapt is incredible. It is so fast. And there is a strong likelihood, fast enough to withstand all that we are putting Earth through. We are of Earth, and we are putting Earth through a challenge, and it will adapt to us. So the resilience of Earth, symbolized by this beautiful kingfisher under this rainbow, is overflowing like the waterfall. 10 of Cups. And finally, Death. Death. Card of transformation. There's that owl again. The story of this card is that the little rat built security underneath this thorn bush. It's not a very pleasant place to live, but death has liberated the rat from the thorny security that it has made for itself. This to me is, it's a warning to us. It is also a promise to us that what we have built, this security of the thorns, it cannot resist the resilience of the earth. Earth will challenge this. It will liberate us from that. And, I'm not afraid of death. Not just because I'm a Scorpio, but because I feel, I sense, I have many lives and I have many more to come, and that I will, I'm just living out a story right now. And in some way, we overvalue life. We see that in current policy changes and the Supreme Court decision. We value life in the weirdest ways, and what we'll do to extend life or preserve or protect life is ridiculous and destructive. So we are not safe in our little thorny security. So we will be liberated. That is what Earth's resilience is going to confront this. Okay. What the tarot wants you to know is this real offer of a new beginning from the Daughter of Roots. This is not seen by us, but it is here. I feel like this is what I'm seeking as I study Druidry. I'm just like this little bear, I'm just a youngster. I don't really know what I'm doing. I have teachers who have been studying this for much longer. I just feel like I'm trying to remember what we have forgotten, and that it is in us. There's memory in us of how to be in relationship. We can refine that with discipline and practice, and there's beauty in that, for sure. Okay, what the tarot wants you to know. Daughter of Roots, Four of Swords. There is healing. It's again in the thoughts, in the mind, the swords. So there's a little hedgehog working on the ideas. Definitely we need a paradigm shift, right? There is a little bit of a kind of hedgehog here. I just read about hedgehogs. Do you know they're wonderful to have in your garden because they eat bugs, and they're like an alternative to pesticides. So this little hedgehog is coming in for me is like a little bit like, what are you doing? I'm staying in my burrow until you change it. Okay. Five of Pentacles. Sense of insecurity, being outside. There's everybody else has gone into their cocoon, and this little one is out dealing with, again, our owl. Owl is very important in this reading. We have on the table 1, 2, 3, 4 owls already. Several other birds. That's optional in these decks, so we really do have a lot of our paradigms and truth are coming out in tarot readings in general. Massive change, towers, death, all kinds of tens of swords. In fact, 10 of Swords is right here on the deck below the Hierophant, that is just coming in upside down. There is a Nine of Wands here. More about survival, resilience, the little porcupine in this case, confronting the fox, fox learning the hard way. The Nine of Wands is you're almost done, there has been struggle, you're exhausted. So what I see here is there are three paths here towards this daughter of roots, this new beginning. One is for those who have been struggling already to survive this. And by those I mean any being on this planet. And then there are those who have been left out, vulnerable in this situation. And then there are those who are waiting. So we have the fighters and the people waiting and the people who are incredibly vulnerable. They're all present, and they are all going to be a part of this new beginning. And I always think of roots and pentacles and earth as slow. That seems very slow. This is going to take a while. But I'm heartened by the overflowing of the resilience and by this little beginning. So who are you? Are you the one who feels vulnerable? The one who is just waiting for things to change? The one who's in struggle? Or who are these people in your life? That's what it's coming in for me. Okay, what is our role? The beautiful daughter of feathers. Okay, our role is, there's the Three of Swords. This is this card. Okay. Hearts and minds are not aligned. Opposite of this for me. This is the heart and mind in alignment, as is the Strength card. This is a place of obsession. I always see in this particular one, this feather, see these chains. The chains appear here. I thought they appeared elsewhere, but where did I see chains? In my imagination. So these chains are like this. I'm thinking of the briars here. We can see that there was something captive that has been freed here. Let's see what else. Seven of Wands, resistance. This is integrity. The one crocodile holding the wand, the willpower. This is a fire willpower card. Having integrity against everybody else who would take that from you. More. The King of Pentacles, the Earth King himself. Abundance, more of that overflowing, but this time not in the waters and the emotions, but in a solid 3D sense. So this is how you want to be. So we remember that this daughter of feathers is about being that lover, right? The faithful lover. And also that you are to be a messenger that brings inspiration, a new idea, a new creative energy, enthusiasm. And the faithful lover, the one who declares his or her love and can be trusted to be sincere. So even if your heart has been broken, and this is like right away, like it was a very painful reading. Even though your heart may be broken and you may be inclined to live in that pain and in your losses, which this Three of Swords represents your losses, because this is you in this reading. This is what you can bring. And because of this, we may feel isolated, but there's that feather. This is the wand. This is what the Daughter of Feathers, it's the same suit as the Daughter of Feathers. This is that inspiration, that idea, and it becomes a better and better idea. And you may face opposition. It looks like you face opposition, but ultimately you rise to this occasion with the steadiness and slowness and stubbornness. It's very Taurus earth energy. And that is your job. You know something because your heart is broken. You have an inspiration and a gift to bring. That is the message that you must bring. Even though your heart is broken, you bring that steadfast love of your planet here. It's very beautiful. Very, very beautiful reading. As always, these Earth and Us readings are always so beautiful. And we have, again, just one card. And that is this card. To remind us, the Page of Pentacles, or the little Page of Roots here, the Daughter of Roots in this deck. And we can see two different ways of, just doing all these things. She's in the mud, she's in the water, she's an earth sign. And to just bring that tangible vision, to make it real, to use all 8 limbs to do it. So that is your underlying energy. You're up against the Hierophant as you do this work. And there's a lot of power on this table, and it is mostly not yours. You're just like a little page, a little daughter. You're young, you're mature, you don't know stuff. Perhaps you're a student, right? Because we see you studying a new set of ideas, or kind of coming to a new set of ideas, just like this one. These are student energies. We see the amazing wisdom and resilience of Earth herself. This is her resilience. She is, you cannot escape this. You cannot find enough security to escape this, right? So this is happening, but the resilience of our planet is overflowing, and this is your job. Be this one. Don't forget that this earth nourished you before you knew how to feed yourself. And so you reciprocate that right now. It's a very beautiful message. I hope you stayed with me, even though it started out so painful and I had a little cry in the middle of it. It doesn't matter, because for me, doing this message for you means I get this message too. And I am inspired and full of commitment here to do my part, no matter how scared I am, and no matter how much regret I have about the soul loss that my planet is experiencing. And we are on this planet, and with it in this loss as well. So have a beautiful day, my friend.